This video details construction of the single gate level crossing with the kiss gate alongside it. The actual construction is almost identical to my other level crossing gate, so I include a link below in the description, and I suggest you watch that first and then watch this particular video. So we'll just go through the differences, makes things a lot easier. First of all, it only comes with one large gate and comes with one kissing gate. So we'll deal with the large one first of all. Three parts to it. We have a middle section, one side. If we turn it over, we take the other side and drop it on. Now if you've got them around the right way, you should see the various bolt holes on both sides. And you'll see that one of them has a slot, as you can see there. That's to take the hinge. So method of construction is white PVA glue over that surface. So that's with the rivets facing down, PVA glue there. Drop on the center section, making sure the round bits line up with the round bits. You don't put it on upside down. And then keep tapping it down. Keep going round in circles to make sure it's all flush. Then add another layer of PVA glue. Probably best to do it on this part. So just go around the outside, and then you can see where the rivets are. Then really just want to put a little dab where each rivet is. And then drop him on. Try not to get any glue in this area, because that's where the hinge goes. So then drop him on, and again, same process, around the houses, so to speak, to make sure that it ends up being glued nice and square. At this point, it's probably a good idea to fit the hinge. There are 4 hinges, because there's 2 gates. They're fairly straightforward, so we can do a sort of a dummy run first. It's fairly obvious how they go in. They go either side, and the little tang slots into there. The way I would suggest doing this is squirt some PVA glue into the hole, then push the hinge in, clean off the PVA glue, let that set, and then when that's set, I think I explained this in the other video anyway, is to just lift that up gently, as I've done there, a little spot of super glue underneath, and push it down again so it lines up the top bar, and do that on both sides. So when you've done that hinge, do the other hinge exactly the same. So that's that gate ready to go. So you can then put that to one side. Then we move on to what I think is called the kissing gate. So exactly the same principle. We've got one with rivets on, so rivets down. We've got one with cutouts, that goes on top, and one with the rivets goes on top. Now you can build this one of 2 ways. The hinge, as before on the large gate, as you can see, goes in where the slots are. So at the moment, I've got the hinge down that side and the bracing bar going up. Now if you wanted it the other way around, it's just a case of taking the center part, turning him over, putting him down again. And now you see I've got the hinge over there, and the bracing strut goes down at that angle. So we glue those together, identical as we did before. Then going round and round and round. And then we've got your 2 slots. We do exactly the same as we did before. In with the hinge. In with the hinge. Glue those off. And put that to one side. Now we move on to doing the posts. This is where it's a little bit different to the original level crossing gate. We've got 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 4mm posts and 3 1mm posts. And you see they're all different. So put 4 to one side. So you've got 2 large ones. And we'll start off with this particular one. As you can see, it's got a deep slot, a not very deep slot, and 2 slots. So we'll start off with the deep slot one. It's important to remember which ones you're doing here. So we take the 1 and one of the 4s, and we glue that so that it's flush all the way around using a PVA glue. Try to miss out any glue in this area here. So you just want glue top and bottom and maybe a little bit there. Ditto down the other end. When that's glued in, then add another one, 4mm on top, so it makes up a sandwich with the 1mm in between. Right, so this is the deep one we're doing. So you've got to remember that. So when that's dry, we then have to insert the hinge block into here. And we use the same process as we did before, where we add some white PVA glue into the slot. Then we take one of the hinges and we push it in and push it down firmly, and then wipe off any excess glue. And then you do the same at this end. White PVA in there, push it in and wipe any glue off. So that's the post for the large gate. So you've got to remember that. So that's that one that goes there and will drop on top. The actual process of fitting the wires in and loading it onto the post is identical to the other video. So that's that post and that gate now done. I'll just leave him there so you can see what we've done. And we'll now move on to the next gate, which is the, we'll now move on to the next post, which is the one that this gate will lock into. Now to do that, we take the one that's got a deep slot and a narrow slot, and we take 2 parts of 4mm again. And now you've got to try and remember is which is the deep side and which isn't. A simple way of doing that is with a pencil. So what we do is we lay, or glue should I say, that one onto there. Again, making sure the glue doesn't go into the slots. And then while that's glued on there, you need to mark up so you know which is the big slot, which is the small slot. So that's the big one. So I'm just going to put a small B. My pencil would work. A small B there. So I know that's the big side. And then we add the next one and glue that on and square that up. Right, now we know which is which, so we know which is the big side. There we go, B, so I know that's the large side. So into there, we put some PVA glue and we drop in the hinge. We do the same at this end. PVA glue and drop in the hinge. Now that's the hinge for the kissing gate. So that's going to go in that position there. But obviously the gate is going to swing in to this post. So we have to work out now which way round we're going to put the end stops in for the gate. So as you can see, I'll just slot one in, there you can see the principle. It's a small lug. That goes into the slot there. And then the other one down the bottom. I'm just trying to hold this together. So I'll put the one in the bottom as well. So as you can see, in this position, the gate will start up in here and come down and lock onto those. Now if you wanted the gate running the other way, then it's a simple case of before you glue these in, turn them round as I've done there. So you can see now in that process the gate will swing in from the other direction. So I'll just put that down there. Then we move on to the last post, which has got the narrow ones in. This one's straightforward. Glue them together as a sandwich. And again, we'll put the gate as it's going to be. So the gate is going to live there. And then the post that this small gate locks into, again, work out which way round you want the catches to be. Same as on the big gate. At the moment I've put them in so in that position, the gate will go against it. If that's wrong, then quite simply, before you glue them in, turn them round. Now in that position, the gate will come the other way. Now I've left the upright posts particularly longer than they should be. If you're going to mount it on a flat board, then cut them off to your required length. Or failing that, if you're going into a board, it can be beneficial to cut a hole in the board, drop them down into, and leave that entirely up to you. So, and it comes with a rod that you can cut to make up the hinge. The way it loads on and the way the hinge rod is glued in is covered in the other video. So that completes the construction of level crossing gate and its kissing gate. And the sizes of this particular one, the actual gate itself, as you can see, is 70. And that's the small gate. The large gate comes in at 160. All the other dimensions are as per the other level crossing. Thank you very much for watching, and please enjoy building.